right, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Tyler Doc coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, us edifying to the hopefully elect. Before I do that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety, much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth, and our truth is sincerity and diligence. All right, man. Us as a nation of people, man, the nation of Israel, man, we the most holy people on the planet Earth, man. All right, but what we did, we went off on the outside of the Most High and went off serving other idols, serving other gods. And, us as a nation, we are married. We were married unto the Lord. We was the Lord's bride, took care of us. He decked us with ornaments. He gave us these blessed laws that separate us from the other nations. That's why the other nations looked at us as if they were gods. Okay? So we went off serving these other gods that that had no life in them, no breath in them. These gods that was not living at all. But here it is, we have the one true living power, and we forsaked him. So what the Lord did is that he forsaked us. He forsaked us, but it was only for a moment. And through this process of the Lord forsaking us, and what we did, we lost our heritage and everything about us, okay? Because we didn't know who we was, all right? And this what happened when the Lord forsaked us. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." All right, so it says that even thou thyself. So he was telling Jeremiah that even thou and thyself continue from thy heritage. He's telling Jeremiah that you're gonna forget that you're an Israelite. You're gonna go into captivity. All right. And you're gonna serve your enemies in the land which you know is not, So you're gonna not know that you're an Israelite, you're gonna not be keeping the customs, you're gonna go off. That's what the Lord was saying, man, because what we forsaked him and went serve us. See, but like I said, the Lord did this. The Lord, because we went off, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, and the Lord did what? He chastised us, because he loved us. Because he loved the nation of Israel. So, yeah. You go to Isaiah 57. No, 54. Isaiah 54:7. It says, "For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. Thus said the Lord." See, check it out. Whenever you go, look, this is verse 5. It says, "For thy maker is thy husband," because like I said, we were married to the Lord, all right, us as a nation, because he likened us to a comely, delicate woman. And it says, Yahweh is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called. For Yahweh has called thee as a woman, for Yahweh had called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith the Most High. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercy will I gather thee. And that's what the Lord is saying. With great mercy, he's gonna gather us, because he's forsaken us. That's what he did. He forsaken us for a moment and did what? Gave our inheritance, because didn't we just read in Jeremiah when he said that you shall discontinue from your heritage? Real quick. See if we can get some edification on that real quick. Back in Jeremiah 17:4, it says, I went and look up the word discontinue.
Strong's H 8058. Shamat.
Shamat. It says to release, to let drop or loose, rest or fall. To let drop or fall, to made to fall down, to be thrown down, to cause to let drop, to release, to let drop. All right. And then what happened? We was released from our heritage. We were released, from the promises and the covenant, the covenants and the commonwealth. Because we went off as a nation. We went whoring. And see, like we read, it says that thy maker is thy husband. So whenever you go out serving these other gods, you actually commit adultery unto the Lord. You committing fornication, spiritual fornication. So, like it says, thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage. And so he discontinued from our heritage, and we made him so mad, and he did what? This is Lamentations 5:2. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, remember Yahweh, what has come upon us, consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance, like our name, our land, our customs, all that is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. And those aliens and those strangers right there is talking about, heathens. Okay? So, because our land and our heritage is turned to heathens, is turned to strangers. Because that's what you got in our land right now. It's strangers in these heathens. Ezekiel 36. This is Ezekiel 36:5. It says, therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. It says, and against all Idumea. So it's especially all Idumea, which would be the so-called white man, which is known as the Edomites in the Bible. Okay, it says, which have appointed my land into their possession with all joy of their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey, because they spoiled us, man. They spoiled our land, and they doing whatever, and they defiling and polluting the land right now with all the abominations that they're doing. It says, like it says against all Idumea. All right, so the Lord said, what, man? Hey, bro, he's against Idumea, those people that did what? Which appointed his land into their possession with all joy of their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey, man. And that's exactly what they did. And that's why the Lord gonna give them the business, Because the thing is that, hey, this devil has not paid for nothing that he's done. You see? This devil has not paid for the rape, robbing, murder that he done to the tribe of Gad. The violence that he's dished out towards his brother Jacob. He's not paid for none of these things, man. And yet he is in the land dwelling, as if though he's those people, man. But what the Lord said, this is Revelations 3:9. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, all right, which say they are Jews and are not. And they say they're the real Jews, but they're not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. You see? And that's what the Lord sees. The Lord forsaken the Lord, so like the Lord have forsaken us, but only for a moment, okay? And that's what you get for the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That's the Lord right there showing mercy, man. Because the Lord, only through Yahweh Shai were we able to be brought back to the Most High, man. Only through Yahweh Shai were we able to be reunited back with the Most High, man. All right? But it says, I'm going to read it again. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, which would be these Amalekites in our land right now, which are Edomites. They are Amalekites, okay? All right? And are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. And that's exactly what's going to happen, because it's going to be such a thing called a great deliverance. It's going to be a deliverance for what? The nation of Israel, okay? Not for everybody, but for the nation of Israel, all right? And we hasten in that day of, us being delivered out of it. Look, check it out. This is Jeremiah 30:8. It says, For it shall come to pass in that day, said Yahweh, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and the strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. You see, the Lord's gonna do what, man? Hey, He's gonna deliver us from this devil, man. All right, take the oppression, the hand of the oppressors off our neck, man. It says, verse 9, it says, but they shall serve Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. All right, because we know that the King David will be the head of the 144K. All right, with Yahweh Shah, with Yahweh Shah and King David, Verse 10, it says, therefore fear not my servant Jacob, said Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the lands of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest. You see, shall be in rest, be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. You see, and this is just going into that deliverance that's coming, man. All right, the deliverance that was promised unto the nation of Israel. See, we was forsaken, but only for a moment. All right, but being in this thing, you would think that, hey, man, the Lord forgot about us, But the Lord, hey, bro, the Lord say what? He says, I forsake thee. Well, let me go back to it. Is it 54:7? It's Isaiah 54:7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. Say, but just for a small moment, but with great mercy, because this is great mercy that the Lord is having upon us, man. Okay, this is a whole lot of mercy. Going back to that Ezekiel 36:24, it says, for I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and bring you into your own land. You see? And this is the Lord having mercy on us. Because when you read verse 19, it says, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings I judged them. You see? When you jump down to 24, it says, hey, look, this is what the Lord did to us, because he forsaken us and gave us over what? To the heathens, and they did what? And the Lord said that. Psalms 106. Psalms 106. Check it out. Let's see. Lift up their hands and provoke them and count the anger of the Spirit. All right. Yeah. Check it out. Look, check it out. This is Psalms 106:40. It says, therefore the wrath of Yahweh. Look, I'm going to start at. This is Psalms 106:35 or 34. It says, they did not destroy the nation concerning whom Yahweh commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works and served their idols, which were a snare unto them. You see, and that's what our people did. They served the idols of the other nations, man. They served their gods and went off. That's why the Lord forsaked us. All right. Verse 39. I'm gonna jump down to verse 40. It says, therefore was the wrath of the Most High, the wrath of Yahweh kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. He abhorred us. He turned his back on us. He forsaked us, but only for a moment. You see? It says, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. You see? And that's what happened. It says, their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. And that's exactly what the Lord did. The Lord allowed that to happen, because we went off serving other idols, went off serving their gods. Okay? See, and that's when you go back to Ezekiel 36:19, it says, I scattered them among the heathens, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings I judged them. But the Lord said, what, man? He was going to have mercy, right? Didn't the Lord say he was going to have mercy? When you, let's see. Yeah. He says, when we read in Isaiah 54, he says, but with much mercy shall I gather thee. So right here it says, for I will take you from among the heathen, and I will gather you out of all the countries, and I will bring you into your own land. All right, and this hasn't happened yet. Okay, the Lord said He's going to bring us into our own land, man. The Lord said He's going to bring us into our own land. So if you're dealing with the world scenario of who the real Jews are, they were established in that land by a piece of paper, not by the Lord, not by the arm and the stretched out hand of the Lord. The Lord says, "What I will take you from among the heathens and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land." That's what the Lord said. You see, all right, and that's going into that rest, man. That ultimately that rest that we're gonna have. Okay, but I'm gonna read this. I want to read this quick precept right quick before I jump to that. This is Ezekiel 36 and 25. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. All right, and see that's going in, and that's happening right now. You know, that's happening right now with the men of the Lord, man. The Lord is cleaning up. You know, He cleaned up His elect. Lord willing, I'm of that number. You know, He cleaned up His elect, and clean up the hopeful elect from all their filthiness, man. Because the hopeful elect was, we were all Gentiles in the mind, man. Going after these dumb idols. That's what He said. I'm gonna clean you from all your filthiness, from all your idols. You know, and when you read 27, it says, "And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye will keep my judgments and do them." All right, and it's gonna come a point in time where the Lord is, that the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts, man. So therefore we won't go off, man. That's going into that ultimate rest, man. Okay, you know, because what? When you get rest, you have peace. You know. You read Revelations 21 and 4. It says, "And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away," man. For the former things are passed away. The ways of this world, man. All right, these old wretched bodies, man. All right. The infirmities that we had to deal with, man. The oppression that we had to deal with. The way of things, how things went, man. All that's going to be done away with, man. You know? Because the Lord is going to do what, man? He's going to have mercy. He's going to have mercy. And what He said, He's going to give us rest, man. To wipe away tears from their eyes, that's rest, man. You know? Like it says in Isaiah 14, it says, for 14 and 1, it says, "For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob." So the Lord said He's going to have mercy on Jacob. Okay? And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. You see, He says, "I will have mercy on Jacob and will choose Israel and set them in their own land," man. And the strangers shall the strangers shall be joined with them. And the strangers right there, that's Israelites. Okay? The strangers right there, that's Israelites. It said, "Shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." See, He says what? He will yet have mercy. So like He will yet choose Israel and have mercy on Jacob. You see? So like He will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them on their own land. And that's their rest, man. Okay? That's that rest that we striving for to enter into, Because when you read the book of Hebrews, the 4th chapter, and you go and it says the 8th verse, it says, when you see right here, it's talking about Joshua. It has Yahweh Shah name right there, but Joshua and Yahweh Shah has the same name. It says, for if Joshua had given them rest, then he would not afterwards have spoken of another day. All right, so that another day It's talking about the day of the Lord, man. It says there remained therefore a rest to the people of the Most High. So there remained what? A future rest, man. A future rest where we're gonna what inherit, you know, which would be the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, we're gonna inherit that rest, man, because it says what? For he that is entered into his rest, he also had ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. So we're laboring to get into that rest that remaineth, you know. See, because when you read verse 8, when you go back to verse 8, it says, if Joshua had given them rest, because Joshua did walk us into the promised land, but that wasn't that ultimate rest. That ultimate rest is what we're going to receive whenever this happens. This is Hebrews 8:8. It says, well, I'm going to start at 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for a second, right? For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So he says, I will make a new covenant, a new promise with who? The house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Okay? I don't see any other nation, that's included in that. It says, not according to the covenant I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their minds and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. You see? And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest, man. You see? And that's what the Lord, and that's that ultimate rest right there, man. So that we ain't gonna never go off again, bro. We're not gonna never have to worry about being, in captivity anymore, bro. Because the Lord said what? In Lamentations, the 4th chapter, he says, I'm going to just jump down to 22. It says, for the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So that means, hey, Edom, you got something to pay for. But the point is that he will no longer carry thee away in captivity. Meaning that this is it, bro. This is the last hurrah for the nation of Israel being in subjection under these heathens, man. So there we was forsaken, but for a moment, and our Lord and Savior is coming to deliver us, man. Lord willing, He's coming to deliver those that kept His patience and kept the words of the prophecies, man. And did what you were supposed to do. So Isaiah 62:4, it says, there shall no more, so like a thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, because we was a people, robbed and spoiled, and real quick, this is Lamentations 2:15. It says, all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that all men, the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole world? All thy enemies has opened their mouth against thee, and hissed and gnashed their teeth, they say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. All right? So, they was happy about our falling, man. They clapped at us. You know what I mean? They was crunk about us falling as a nation, and mocked us and whatnot. But what? The Lord say what? Back in Isaiah 62:4, thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land be any more be deemed desolate, for thou shalt be called Hibzibah, which means my delight is in her, in thy land, Beulah, which means to marry, for Yahweh delighted in thee, and thy land should be married. Verse 5, it says, for, I'm gonna read it. It says, for as a young man married the virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. As the bridegroom rejoice over the bride, so shall the Most High rejoice over thee. So, that's just basically saying that we're going to be married back to the Lord, man. Because what? And the Lord had mercies and cleaned us from all our filthiness, so we can so we can be presented as, let's see, so we can present it as chaste virgin, just 2 Corinthians 11:2. For I am jealous over you with the godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. So that's the Lord cleaning us. Hey, we have to be what? Clean. Our garment's supposed to be what? Not having no filthiness on it, blameless without spot, man, to be presented as a chaste virgin, man. Because we was married unto the Lord, So we're gonna be married back unto the Lord, bro. Lord willing. Because there's a deliverance that's coming out of all of this. Whether people want to believe it or not, there's a deliverance only coming for the nation of Israel, only for the elect men of the nation of Israel. Because the Lord elect. This is Matthew 24:31. It says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of trumpet, and they shall gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. You see? So the Lord's going to gather his elect from the four winds, and his elect will be what? That remnant of the nation of Israel. Because, let's see, Isaiah, the 10th chapter, verse 22. Almost started 21, it says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty power. See, the remnant shall return. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow righteousness. All right, and so it says what? Even though we a nation, like our nation is likened to the sand of the sea, but only a remnant shall return. Only a remnant, like a small number. Going to that word remnant.
Strong's H7605. She'ar.
It says rest, residue, remnant, remainder. Remainder what? The ones that did what? That that repented and turned back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that stood stiffly for the name of the Lord, that overcame, because it's written in Revelations, oh yeah. Okay. All right. So we not cooking with any grease here. Let me see. Yeah. Tripping. It's overcometh. This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 11. It says, he that had an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And that second death is the nuclear missiles, all right, which The men of the Lord, that remnant that turned back, that overcame, shall be what? Shall escape from. Because like we was reading in Revelations, the 21st chapter, and you go down to verse 8, it says, but the fearful, unbelieving, and the abominable, and the murderers, and the whoremongers, and the sorcerers, and the idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right, so the second death gonna be what? The lake which fire would burn it with fire and brimstone. All right, so what is that lake that's gonna burn with fire and brimstone? It's gonna be America, man. All right, because what's synonymous with that fire and brimstone? It says, we go to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. This is Isaiah 13th chapter, 19 verse. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It says Babylon is going to be likened to how the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. But when you check out how Babylon was taken down, man, Babylon was taken down, by like a surgical strike. They was having having a big ass party in that bitch, man. And I believe it was Darius that came knocked them out. Belshazzar. So like if a slip of the tongue. But Belshazzar was taken out. All right, he was smitten. You see, but it says that's how ancient Babylon was taken out. But it's talking about a different Babylon right here. All right, because what it says is gonna be like it overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So how was Sodom and Gomorrah overthrown? Genesis 19 and 24. It says, and the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire, Yahweh out of Salakia. Brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven. So brimstone and fire fell upon Sodom and Gomorrah. But wait, it just said that it says that it says in Babylon, back in Isaiah 13 and 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. So Babylon gonna be destroyed by what? Fire and brimstone. And you can read about it too when you Revelation the 18th chapter, the 4th verse. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Come out of who? Babylon. Because when you read verse 2, it's talking about Babylon, you see? Right here. It says, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not her plagues. You see? And what's that ultimate plague? That fire and brimstone. But what I want to get real quick is it Psalms, the 11th chapter. Psalms, the 11th chapter. In verse 6, it says, upon the wicked, and who's in rulership right now? The wicked, right? So we can jump back to it. Job 9. It says upon the wicked, right? So Job 9:24 says, given into the hands of the wicked, he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? So the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and whoever the wicked is covered the faces of the judges thereof. Okay? So who covered the faces of the judges thereof and put their own image, which would be the so-called white man? You can see that yourself. Where you get a Cesare Borgia from. Serapis Christos. Okay? It says, yeah. If not, where and who is he, man? So we know who the wicked is, all right? That's who's running the earth right now, man. All right? And we know who's running the earth right now. So when we go back to Psalms 11, it says, upon the wicked shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and in horrible tempest, this shall be the portion of their cup. You see? Fire and brimstone. So upon Babylon, what we just read, it's gonna rain fire and brimstone, right? So it says but on the wicked though. So the wicked will be who, man? Somebody that's synonymous with Babylon, right? So when you read in the same book, Psalms 137, this is Psalms 137. It said 137 and 8. It says, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed." So, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, the offspring of Babylon, right? Which would be America, who are to be destroyed. Happy is he that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy is Salakia. I'm supposed to start at 7. This is Psalms 137 and 7. It says, "Remember Yahweh, the children of Edom, in that day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even unto the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. Happy is he that rewarded thee as thou hast served thee." So Edom right here is synonymous with who? The daughter of Babylon. You see? So right now, whoever's ruling, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, which would be Edom, ruling what? Babylon. Edom is synonymous with Babylon. And like we just read in Revelations, oh shit, the 18th chapter, for a verse, it says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that thou be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not her plagues." Right? Receive not her plagues. And we talking about Babylon, synonymous with Edom, because who's ruling? Edom, right? So, with E. Fuck. So what's the ultimate plague? Yeah. Zechariah 14 and 12. It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all people who fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume." Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right, when it's talking about Jerusalem, it's talking about what the hopefully elect right there. It says, well, fought against Jerusalem, and now today's time, the Lord is only dealing with the elect. It says, "Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth," man. You see? And that's that plague right there. ICBM nuclear missiles, man. That's gonna heat this joint up, bro. And that's what the deliverance of, that's what we hoping for, to be delivered from that plague, man. Because out of all this, we turn our back on the Most High. The Most High chastened us and put us in captivity, man. Out of all of this, man, we praying for a deliverance to come, so we don't, be partakers in that, So it's gonna be a deliverance, but only for the remnant of the nation of Israel, and that's what we hope for, And that's what we pray and we strive for, to enter into that rest, so we can aid, bro. So we don't be nuked off the face of the earth, man. Because the scriptures say, man, it's gonna be worse for those who had, who knew than those who didn't know. Gonna be beaten with many stripes. So you wanna, get your mind right, because it's gonna be a deliverance. But you ain't gonna be delivered if you ain't doing nothing to get your deliverance. You know what I'm saying? And that be the issue with Jake. Jake be wanting something for nothing. Check it out. This is Proverbs 13 and 4. "The soul of the sluggard desireth and had nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat." You see, the soul of the sluggard desired the kingdom, but ain't got no fucking works to show for it. Ain't got no deposits, no spiritual deposits, nothing. But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. The person that's given diligence, to get to making this election, to making this call and election sure, shall be made fat, man. All right, shall be rewarded. You see. Let's go back to the Isaiah 62. It says, let me drop down to 11. it says, this is Isaiah 62:11. It says, behold, Yahweh hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh, and thou shalt be called, sought out, a city not forsaken, man. You see? Because he's gonna do what, man? And he's gonna, you know, make sure he's gonna put us on the map, man. You know, everything that he said, he's gonna make sure that he do it. He does, and he do it. You know, because it says a city not forsaken, because we was forsaken, right? But now we are a city not forsaken. Why? Because the Lord redeemed us. You know, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So, you know, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopefully elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakodash. The wonders to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth at the four corners of the earth, and our truth is sincerity and diligence. Shalom.